Okay, so welcome. So we're going to start off by talking about customer service. I have always followed the Mary Kay customer service plan. I mean, just Cadillac customer service, take care of your customers as if that one customer is your first customer and your only customer. And so I've treated them all like royalty throughout my whole 19 and a half year career. But this week, or the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 situations where I thought people don't realize how to take care of their customers anymore. One was on July 3rd. I took the kids over to Froyo, and it's a new little ice cream place in Peachtree City. And I wasn't going to record this because I'm going to name names. And sometimes when I name names, I end up getting in trouble, but I'm going to name names. Went to this new Froyo place, and I didn't realize that it had just opened, that it only opened, 9 weeks earlier, which is right in the middle of COVID. So you would think that the owner would just be really gung-ho about taking care of his customers. We go in there, we spent $26. I say that because to me, that's a lot of money on ice cream. And so he swipes the card. Well, they swipe the card and they swipe it twice. And I'm a maniac when it comes to watching my check-in account. So I just happened to look that next day, and I saw that there was a double swipe, and it was showing pending. Well, I called and they said, well, it's only showing one. This was July 4th. And I said, okay, well, I'll give it till Monday to see if it dissolves. Well, Monday, it had not dissolved, and it was showing a transaction both times. So the guy had me print off my checking account. That was a hassle. I had to, black out all the personal information, and I had to email it over. He didn't bother to call me and say he got it, so I didn't hear from him. So Tuesday afternoon, I'm going by there. I swing in there. I have my bank statements, and I get the owner. And this was now my second or third time talking to the owner, and I went up and I said, I'm Michelle Byers, and I said, I emailed you. He goes, oh yeah. He said, yeah, it was swiped twice and it was charged twice, and my merchant said it's going to take 5 to 10 days to get your money back. I said, okay, 5 to 10 days. And he goes, okay. And I said, okay. And he didn't offer free ice cream. He didn't offer, let me give you cash out of the cash register. So he's going to hold my money hostage for 5 to 10 days. Okay. So I left and ended up, it was 5 to 10 days. And I had to keep checking to make sure that my money went back in there, which was a hassle. So by the 7th or 8th day, I was a little PO'd, and I did my very first review on Yelp. All right, so that was that. New business. He doesn't have my business anymore, and he's not going to. Second thing happened was I get nails. I love my nails. I get my nails, and I go pick them up. This is the Color Street. I go pick them up. I go to her house and get them. She leaves them out. 2 times she has forgot to leave them out. And I sat in her driveway last week and I said, hey, I'm at your house. I don't see my nails. Oh, I forgot to leave them. That's all she said. Not, I'll bring them to your house. Not, I'm going to give you an extra strip of nails. Nothing. I forgot to leave them. Okay. And then yesterday, Mary Beth decided that she wants to learn how to twirl a baton. I thought it was a dying art. Well, it's not, and I'm looking for a baton twirler teacher, whatever. I emailed this girl and I said, she's supposed to be a baton coach. And I said, do you teach twirling? You would think that I would get an email back with all her information. What do I get back? An answer. Yes. I lost it. I lost my mind. I said, well, can you give me some information? Because yes doesn't really tell me a lot. So this is what brings me to customer service. Mary Kay always says, what does she always say? I forgot what she always says. Anyway, read her book and you'll find out what she says. But that's where I learned everything I know about customer service. So I'm going to give you some of my tips over the years of things that I have taken, even when it was my mistake. One time, I was literally, this was not even a mistake, but I was having a baby and got a new customer right after I delivered Mary Beth. And she texted me, and I knew my mother-in-law and my big boys were back home. And I said, well, I normally deliver, but I just had a baby and I won't be home for a couple of days. But if you will come by my house and pick it up, I have a little basket. I will not charge you tax as a thank you for you driving all that way. So customer delivery, door-to-door service is something that we offer. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, this is my business. This is how I feed my family. And I never, when they try to apologize for wanting to do business with me, I always let them know, this is how I feed my family. Do not apologize. I need the business. And so my boys put out her miracle set. She dropped her check off, and she's been with me for 10 years. 10 years. The other day, one of my customers who I normally drop off her products to at her office, which is Peachtree City, is closer. She was not in the office, and I was getting ready to go out of town. I drove all the way out to her house, which is all the way past, oh gosh, like 30 minutes. It was an hour round trip just to drop off her products. And she said thank you, but today, this was like almost a week and a half later, she texted me. She goes, I don't know if I said thank you for coming all the way out to my house. Your customers appreciate you, and they notice when you go over and beyond, because they're not seeing it with any other company. And so when you get that one customer, if you will just go that extra mile, word will get around that you are top notch. There's been several times where I put the wrong thing in a bag or mailed the wrong thing, and I tell them, you know what, keep it. In fact, Kelly did that the other day, and I was so proud of her because she put the wrong thing in her customer's bag, and she said, you know what, keep it, give me your opinion. And now she's going to have a mascara customer. And so sometimes you just eat that, but that's, you're going to get that. It's going to come back to you tenfold. Birthday clubs. When I get a new customer, I always get their email, their birthday. And for that birthday month, I always do a 20% off for the entire month on anything that they want. And I always offer them a birthday makeover, and they can get one item at 50% off, and then the rest they can get at 20% off. That creates the booking, and that really gets you in front of your customers every year so that you keep that relationship, and they don't forget what you look like. You don't forget what they look like. Because honestly, I was at the DMV with one of my boys getting their driver's license one year, and it was like we walked in and it was a zoo. You guys know what the DMV is like. It was a zoo, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be here forever. I sat down and the lady started talking to me, and I said, you look so familiar. And she goes, well, I'm your customer, Lori. I was like, oh God. I always just drop her stuff off on the door. I said, oh my God, Lori, I'm so sorry. I haven't seen you in forever. And I had done her daughter's prom makeover. And I said, so how's your daughter? And look, her daughter had already gotten married and had a baby. And I'm like, has it been that long? Look, don't, stay in front of them. Okay. I just have so many customers, but because I give her the products, I give her a gift with purchase, I do the birthday club, they still stay with me even when I'm forgetful. I also do every year, you guys know we do the Pink Friday sale. Every Thursday every Friday after Thanksgiving is our Pink Friday sale. When you are constantly giving not constantly, but when you are consistently having these particular sales that only you have, your customers know, and they get used to it. It becomes tradition, and they're more loyal to you. So that Pink Friday sale. Every year I do a Christmas card. They have watched my kids grow up, 19 years of Christmas cards. And my graphic designer always puts a little $10 gift certificate, and it has something special on it, and it has my family. So like this last Christmas was our boys, it was all of us with our boys at their Navy graduation. And every time I see one of my customers, like I dropped off, and my customer was home the other day working in the yard, and it was right in the middle of COVID, and so we couldn't get too close to each other. She goes, I've been meaning to tell you, I loved your Christmas card with your boys. They've grown up. I mean, do life with people, guys. With this social media and everybody's at a distance, do life with people. Just sometimes, handwritten postcards sometimes, especially for those of you who are on social media and you've got your customers kind of connected to you like that. If you see that they're going through something, write them a card. When my mom died, it was those cards meant so much to me. People didn't necessarily come to her. She didn't have a viewing. We just had a memorial because she donated her body to science. But those cards were coming in, 2-3 weeks later, and it was perfect timing. I know one time Tanya called me just out of the blue. It was before she was in Mary Kay. We've been friends for a while, and she just called me one day to check on me, and I told her, I said, I needed you to call me today because I was having a bad morning. When you lose a parent. But my customers sent cards. Even I remember when my grandmother died, it was 2003, so I was fairly new in Mary Kay. My customers they brought, banana bread, they brought cards. And even when I've had babies, I've had a couple babies, they made blankets for my kids. It's because even though I'm not on social media at all, I have figured out a way to plug into their life and plug them into my life. And it's the old fashioned way, the way that Mary Kay teaches us. Remember, every June I've had $1,000 a day challenge sale, and that's another sale. So I have a sale in November and a sale in June. And then over the years, because I have earned 10 cars, I'll do a "We Did It Again" card. I'll send out a postcard, and usually it's when I pick up my new Mary Kay car, and I'll say, "We did it again. This time it'll say number 10. Thank you for your support for the last 19 years. We just earned our 10th car. I couldn't have done it without you. Here's a special sale for this month, to honor you for being loyal to me and my family and supporting our business." And that's what my card says. And they tell me they're very proud that they played a part in my success in 19 years. And so these may seem like dinosaur ways to stay in touch with your customers, but it's the same thing I've done for 19 years. And I have an amazing customer base. One of the last things that I want to share with you about your customers is the PCP, the Preferred Customer Program. And that it's the cheapest way to keep you in front of them. It's 5 books a year that the company mails to your customers, 70 cents a name. Click, 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 click from your customer, list, and it's a tax deduction. And they get the lookbook, and they get a little note from you on the back, and they get a sample. You can't do that any cheaper yourself. If you ordered the book, put a sample, and mailed it, it costs you over $2.30 now. Also, some other things for I let Trinity and Tammy talk. I always put samples in there. So knowing your customers and knowing what they're on and what they're not on will also help to get them and to increase that ticket head to toe, so that for example, I have 2 customers. They're really, really good customers, and they just ordered a ton of stuff last week. Well, I have a lot of our custom compacts, and I know that they don't have our custom compacts. They've been buying eyeshadows. Well, guess what I did? I put the compacts in there, and I put, "This holds your eyeshadow," and I listed all. So guess what they're going to be ordering? Eyeshadow, cheek color, because they each only have a couple. So it's upselling without them really knowing they're upselling, and it's a gift with purchase. Work when you're setting, and this is kind of veering off. When you're focusing on, I tell you what, let me let Trinity talk, and then I'll come back to this, because what we're going to close on, and then Tammy, you can go next. Trinity, are you ready?
I'm hitting all the buttons. Sorry. Yes, I'm ready. I think that what I just wanted to say was that this company is so different, kind of like what Michelle has been saying. It's so different than every other company that's out there in direct sales right now, because we develop relationships and people stay with us forever. I've had customers from day one, you know what I mean? For all 6 years, almost 7 years, that they continue to purchase from me. We don't fight with other consultants over people. We have our customers that we take care of, and it's not just a one-time purchase. That's such a huge thing in the world we live in. Just like Michelle said with social media, I've been a part of I love direct sales. I love direct sales. So I'm going to support all my friends who are in direct sales. And so I've been to parties before where literally, for example, 31, I went to a Facebook party. I ordered from the consultant, never talked to her ever. I went on her website, placed the order, and it shipped directly to me. So I didn't even have to communicate with the consultant. And I mean, I never heard from her again. And so, of course, I'm not going to stick with that consultant. There's no, hey, how was your product? Hey, did you get your product? You know? And so I am really big on delivering to my customers. That's my thing. Of course, if there's a baby being born or something crazy happening and they need to pick it up, that's okay. But I love to deliver to them because I love to be a part of their life. And I love to know what's going on and be able to talk to them. And so I was telling Michelle when I had Lincoln, a couple months ago, I completely forgot about a customer's order. She ordered the day that I was giving birth to him. I was in the hospital. I had the text messages and I was like, hey girl, yeah, of course I'll get your products to you. I just got an epidural. Like I am like happy as a clam. Like I don't even remember that conversation, you know? And so 2 weeks went by and she messaged me and she said, hey girl, I just want to check in on my products. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. And she's like, it's fine. Like obviously you were having a baby, but I gave her that order for free. And that was because I felt like it had been over 2 weeks. That's my rule with my customers. If it takes longer than a week, you get it for free. And half of them are like, no, I'm paying you. And I refuse payment because that is good customer service. I keep it in stock. I know what they have. And if I don't, then I tell them next time I definitely will. And I get it ordered as fast as possible because this is cosmetics. It's not like a handbag from 31 that you're not waiting on. You know what I mean? This is a different ball game. And that's why there's such a high demand. And that's why we have reorders because we have that product that they need right now. So we're held to a higher standard than the cleaning ladies, the Norwex people that sell cleaning supplies. Yeah, you don't need that right now. You can wait on that. This product, it's almost like an honor to be able to supply women with something so precious. And we need to take it, you know, and be proud of that and be proud of it and take advantage of the fact that we can offer good customer service. Yes, I do have Facebook parties and I love them, but I deliver personally and I meet people and I meet their families and I meet their kids and I ask them, you know, all about them and things like that. And they keep coming back. So building that strong customer base is just so huge and creating that bond with them. That's what Mary Kay Ash wanted for our company. She wanted us to have relationships and to be able to help people. My favorite thing to tell them is, hey, if that color doesn't work for you, guess what? We can return it. We have 100% buyback guarantee. It costs me nothing. So you can do anything you want. You can return as many times as you need to within reason and we'll be fine. You know what I mean? So those are just some tips of things that just take pride in your work and people will see that and they'll feel it and they'll believe it. So Tammy, I'll pass it to you, my dear.
Okay, sorry. I was having a hard time finding the unmute. Yeah, so back on to what Trinity was saying, having the product in start. Oh, and my battery's going low. Sorry. Having the product, I've been running all day. So I'm like, my phone went dead on the drive home. iPad and the iPad wants to go dead. But anyway, we're going to get this done. But having the product in stock is huge because how many women run out of their foundation or any of their products like one morning and they go, oh, I need this. I need it tomorrow. So being able to supply that to them as soon as possible is a great benefit. And two, they don't have to run to a store in their busy schedule to get it either. So that's huge. And, you know, a little bit on what Michelle was saying too on, you know, the cards, the Christmas cards. Okay, so we moved from Noonan up to North Georgia. And I was sure to be able to let my customers know, hey, look, I'm moving, but I'm still going to service you. You know, whether it's, I said I can ship to you and when I'm in Noonan, I'll deliver to you. So every time when, you know, I still go to Noonan quite a good bit. And so every time I make that trip to Noonan, I reach out to all of my customers. I'm like, hey, I'm coming to Noonan. Do you need anything? And I always carry extra product in the car with me because I know I'm going to be out and about, and especially in Newnan, somebody's going to say, hey, do you have this? And then I just pull it out and they have it. So being able to give them that product right then and there is amazing. And getting it to them as fast as possible, because I mean, okay, so I ordered something from Pampered Shelf and I'm still waiting on it. And it's been like, I think 4 weeks now. I'm like, when is it coming? Like, you know, when you pay for something, you want it right then. So I'm still waiting on that slicer, and I'm like, I want it. So, you know how it is when you spend money on something, you want to have it in your hands as soon as possible. So that's another great thing. And, you know, on to the Christmas cards that Michelle does. Okay, so yeah, we're in a time now, people don't really do Christmas cards anymore. But since my oldest son was a baby, I sent out Christmas cards, you know, his first Christmas picture. And I sent it to family, friends, everybody I knew, of course, you know, because I was that proud mom. But then, of course, come a few years later, I was like, I got busy and I forgot the Christmas cards, and I got all these calls and messages that were like, hey, what happened to my picture? You know, they look for that, and building that, you know, I built it, you know, with my family and our friends, that, you know, they look for those Christmas cards every year of our family. And that's the same with the customers, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to look forward to it. So yeah, build that relationship and make sure that they always know that you're there, even if you are miles and miles away. But I think that's about it.
Awesome. So yeah, so Tammy's been moving, and you can see she's in her new house. Are you excited to be in your new house?
I am, but we've been running all day. That's why I look the way I do. And I was expecting to have the last few hours to get some unpacking done, and that didn't happen. So if you can see, there is a mess around me. And unfortunately, I don't even know where all my products are right now, and it's driving me crazy. But
yeah, I want to say something about having customers out of town, because you guys know I have a lot of customers out of town. I never pass on the shipping costs. I always eat that, because if they could always find somebody local to them that won't charge them shipping. Here's another thing. If I think I mentioned this, if I accidentally sent them something and they didn't ask for it, I just say, oh, keep it. And or if they're out of town and they get something they don't like, let's say a lipstick, and she's like, I really don't like that, I'll always send her a new one. I do a product return. I tell her to give me the day code off. I do a product return, and she's like, do I mail this back to you? I'm like, no, I don't want you to go through the trouble. Don't go through the hassle. Would you pass it on to a friend, or you've got a daughter, see if they like it, and I might pick up a new customer, but your new one is on the way. I go out of my way, like I said, not never charge shipping if they're the out of town customers, and make good on my mistakes when it's my mistakes, or even sometimes it's their mistakes. I always make good, because if you eat it, you'll get tenfold. It'll come back tenfold, I promise. One funny story. So 19 years my kids have made a lot of deliveries, and so when Hudson was 5, I teach them how to get out of the car, go up to the door, and say, thank you, Miss So-and-so, for your order. My mom appreciates your business. And it taught them people skills. Well, Hudson gets car sick. And so he was 5 years old. He comes running back, and all of a sudden I look, and he's throwing up on my customer's driveway or on her sidewalk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's car sick. But then, y'all, just the other day, he started his little pressure washing business, and that customer hired him to clean her driveway. And I thought, how appropriate that he cleaned the very driveway that he threw up on when he was 5. It all comes full circle. All right, so we've got a few minutes. I just want to touch on your next 30 days and building your team, building your customer base. I know that some of us that we're big dreamers, big planners, we have big goals, and they don't scare us. But sometimes we choke on our elephant. Instead of eating it one bite at a time, we choke on it. And so what I want you to do for this new year, and we're not counting July because it's July, August 1, from here on, focus on a 30-day activity, 30-day goal. And that's what I've been trying to do with COVID, because it can give me anxiety thinking about, especially we were in car qualifications when this COVID hit. And I'm like, how is, what's May going to look like? What's April going to look like? What's June? And I had to just focus on 30 days. And I have stayed so calm during all of this that I decided to kind of pass that on to you. So for these next 30 days, I want you to focus on, how many bookings are you going to attempt? How many virtual parties are you going to have? How many one-on-ones are you going to do? How many live parties are you going to have? But I want you to always remember to pass it on, okay? Because you can, there's so many avenues of income. The products are one of them, but sharing this opportunity, y'all, people are going to need a side hustle right now more than ever. This is why Mary Kay has always said that our business thrives in weak economies. I earned my first pink Cadillac in 2008. You go back and look at what happened in 2008, and you would say, no way. All my friends from the mortgage business that I had worked at during 1991 to 2001, they had lost their jobs, filed bankruptcy, foreclosed on their homes. In 2008, I was driving to the Cadillac dealership to pick up my first pink Cadillac because I had doubled my production. So please hear my heart when I say, offer this to everyone. National Sales Director Allison Lamar went from consultant, the day she signed her consultant agreement, to National Sales Director in 3 years. You know what she did? She didn't handpick the people that she shared this opportunity with. She shared it with everyone. Sometimes we complicate who we give this opportunity to. Don't deny someone their destiny because you've prejudged them or you've assumed. That's what happened to me. There were 5 ladies at my church in 2001 that did not offer me a facial or the opportunity. They thought, oh, she's got a 2-year-old, she's pregnant, she has a full-time job, she's too busy. I wanted to be home with my babies. They lost out big time. They lost out. You don't have to lose out because I'm telling you now, offer this to everybody. So these next 30 days, everybody that you put this product on, you share this opportunity with, because if you don't, you could be denying them their destiny. Like those 5 ladies at my church were denying me my destiny. You don't play God. Be okay with no, okay? 1 out of 4 will say yes, but the other 3 will say no. Be okay with no. Be okay that you were obedient and that you did what you were supposed to do, whether they say yes or no. You plant that seed. Have your packets ready. If you don't have recruiting packets, when you go on to order your new stuff in end of the month or next month or whenever, go under team building, and there's some new team building brochures. It's going to have the new cars on there, the new director suits, the new national suits. Build your packet. If you need the hard copy of the recruiting packet, I can email it to you. I've got them here in my studio too. Be armed and ready with your literature to pass it on. And the other form of layering is that great video of Amy Kemp, or I have the Gloria Mayfield Banks and all her nationals doing a video together. So we have 2 really, really great videos. It's called layering, because you don't know what every personality needs. So you give them information to read, you give them a choice of video, and the third thing is you always offer them something for listening. Listen for lashes, listen for a lip gloss. We're about to revamp new lip glosses. So if you've got some lip glosses, give it away. It's a tax deduction. Any of your giveaways are tax deductions. Be on purpose with building your team this year. The time is right. You don't want to miss this momentum, because we are coming out of a no economy into a weak and slow economy. Take advantage. This is where directors are made during this time. And we already know just from training tonight that We have the best direct sales company in the world, the best customer service, the best commission split, the best marketing, the best new consultant bonuses. We already know that. We have to do our job and go out and tell the world. We are not doing our job because we're such, I think Mary Kay has taught us to be such women of excellence that sometimes we don't go boldly like we should and spread the word, you know? Go out and spread the word. We just let all these other companies that have these pushy salespeople bombard, you know, the people and pull them into a company that's not as excellent as what we have. They're the make-believe. They're the wannabes. You have the real deal, and be proud of that and go boldly into August and set that goal. You guys, it's 6 months from start to finish to become a sales director. Once you have made up your mind and you've made up it's in your heart, it's in your mind, it's 6 months. No matter what director you ask, if you tell her how long did it take you, she's going to tell you the moment she made up her mind. We never forget it. We never forget the moment it clicked. And then you look at that and it's 6 months. I think Tammy's was 3. 3 months. It's 3 to 6 months. Stop straddling the fence and go do it. And so, you know, it's super easy. You got your green cards from your appointments. Do your follow-up. Offer something free. Let them watch a video. Let them talk to me virtually or face-to-face for coffee. And boom, build that team. All right, I'm done. Do you guys, Trinity, Tammy, do you guys want to add anything on team building? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we are, it's recorded. It will be on YouTube tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, you can box us, and I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope it was successful. And go out there. If you need the video, I will post the video for you, and start making your hot list and your prospect list, okay? All right, everybody, good night. Good night. I need to cut this off.